Job was a Gentile living somewhere by the Euphrates. He's a mysterious man. How did he come to know God and offer sacrifices? Those sacrifices were never on the Levitical basis. He offered sacrifices lest his sons should have sinned. This is not the mediatorial sacrifice of the Lord. There is no reference to anything like this in the law of Moses and the sacrifices we have later. The story of Job in the book of Job is a story of God's way of producing something which for all ages was going to be of great spiritual value. Have you ever wondered why God dealt with Job the way that he did, although God testified about him as a perfect and upright man? God is clearly seen dealing with Job according to God's own deeper knowledge of the man, a knowledge deeper than what Job had of himself. Job had certain conceptions of himself, and outwardly he was right. God's summing up of him to Satan was that he was not wrong as far as outward things were concerned. There was no one like him if it were a matter of outward righteousness and good acts. But Job had no inward knowledge of himself, neither did he have the right knowledge of God. Hence, God allows him to be tested. The same holds good in our lives too. The Lord knows us. He knows the secret pride of our hearts, the conceits about us which we would never believe about ourselves and never allow anyone else to point out. It may be that some of us are going through something in a spiritual way, like the way which Job went through disappointments, deprivations, and God seems to be against us and the language of our hearts as Job. Job 23, verses 2 to 4 reads, "My complaint is legitimate. God has no right to treat me like this. It isn't fair. If I knew where on earth to find him, I'd go straight to him. I'd lay my case before him face to face and give him all my arguments firsthand." This was his language. After the Lord put him through the fires, he began to acknowledge things that he would never have acknowledged before. In the end, he says that he blabbered things far beyond. Job 42, verse 6, he says, "Wherefore I abhor myself." In other words, he was saying, the Lord dealt with me according to his own knowledge of me, so that I be of service to him with a knowledge of him. This is what he is doing with us all. So let's not complain, but submit to him with a hope in Revelation 22, verse 3, which says, "His servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face." Be blessed.